The auto-save trick. Let your money save itself. In 2025, life moves fast. People scroll, shop, and spend faster than ever before. But somewhere between the online orders and coffee runs, Daniel discovered a secret that completely changed his financial life. He called it the auto-save trick. Daniel was not rich. He was just an ordinary office worker who loved gadgets and weekend takeouts. Every month, he told himself he would save some money, but by the end of each month, his bank balance told a different story. One evening, while scrolling through his banking app, he saw a small option: automate savings. Curious, he tapped it. The app asked him how much he wanted to save every month. Without thinking too hard, he typed 10%. It didn't feel like much. The next month, something amazing happened. His paycheck came in, and before he could even open the app, that 10% was already gone, quietly moved to his savings account. At first, he didn't notice any difference. He still paid his bills, bought his coffee, and lived his life. But at the end of the month, he realized he had money left, and for the first time, it felt easy. The beauty of this trick is that it removes the hardest part of saving: willpower. Daniel didn't have to remind himself to save. The system did it for him. Week after week, month after month, that small auto transfer began to grow. After 6 months, he looked at his savings account and smiled. It had grown into something real, something powerful. He realized that wealth isn't built by big decisions, but by small, consistent ones. In a world where people chase fast money and risky investments, Daniel found peace in automation. He no longer worried about forgetting to save because his future self was already doing it. The auto-save trick wasn't magic. It was discipline disguised as convenience. By the end of 2025, Daniel had saved enough to start his small side business. All it took was one click, and the courage to let technology work for him. The expense shadowing method. Track like a millionaire. In 2025, financial awareness became the new superpower. While most people were still wondering where their money disappeared each month, Sophia decided to find out the truth. She was a young designer living in a busy city, juggling rent, bills, and her dream of buying her first car. Every month felt like a mystery. She earned well, but always ended up broke. Then one day, after seeing a video about expense shadowing, she decided to try it. This simple idea changed everything for her. The concept was clear. If you want to control your money, you have to follow its every move. Sophia downloaded a smart expense tracking app that linked to her bank accounts. It automatically categorized her transactions into essentials, lifestyle, food, and entertainment. For the first week, she was shocked. She realized she spent more on takeout and random online shopping than on her actual goals. It wasn't about how much she earned. It was about how much she didn't notice slipping away. Each time she made a purchase, the app showed a tiny alert with a breakdown of her spending limit. At first, it felt annoying, but within a month, Sophia began to see a pattern. The truth was uncomfortable, but it made her stronger. By the 3rd month, she started planning her spending consciously. Instead of emotional shopping during sales, she waited, compared prices, and asked herself, "Do I really need this?" Slowly, her habits shifted. Her financial awareness grew like a muscle. The more she tracked, the smarter she became. By the end of the year, she had saved more than she ever thought possible. She didn't feel deprived. She felt empowered. The expense shadowing method turned her money from a mystery into a map. Every dollar had a direction, every purchase had a reason. The truth is, millionaires don't just earn more, they understand more. Sophia realized that by observing her money closely, she was training herself to think like the wealthy. What began as a small habit became a lifelong system. She no longer feared checking her balance. Instead, she looked forward to it because it told a story of progress, discipline, and confidence. The pay yourself first rule. Be your own boss. In 2025, when most people struggled to save money, Arjun discovered one golden principle that changed his financial life forever. Pay yourself first. He learned it from a mentor who once said, "If you don't pay yourself first, you'll spend your life paying everyone else." That line stuck in his mind like a spark. Arjun worked hard every month, but like many others, his paycheck vanished into rent, bills, groceries, and endless small expenses. By the time he thought of saving, there was nothing left. One day, he decided to flip the order. When his salary arrived, instead of paying others first, he paid himself. He created a habit. The first 20% of his income went straight into his freedom account, an account he never touched. At first, it felt strange. Sometimes he even felt guilty when his wallet seemed lighter. But within a few months, something magical happened. That small, consistent saving started to grow, giving him a quiet sense of power. He realized that true financial control doesn't come from earning more. It comes from valuing yourself enough to save first. Paying himself first turned saving into a reward, not a burden. As time went on, Arjun's mindset completely changed. He no longer saw money as something to spend, but as something to build. Every time he transferred that 20%, he felt like an investor in his own future. When emergencies came, he was prepared. When opportunities arrived, he was ready. People around him kept wondering how he always seemed calm, even during tough times. They didn't realize that he had created a personal safety net, made from discipline and self-respect. By the end of 2025, Arjun had saved enough to quit his stressful job and start a small digital business. His Freedom account became the foundation of his dream. Paying himself first didn't just grow his bank balance. It grew his confidence, his independence, and his peace of mind. The lesson was simple yet powerful. When you value your future more than your comfort, your money starts working for you. The skill investment hack: turn learning into income. In 2025, the world was changing faster than ever. New technologies were born every month, and old skills were becoming outdated overnight. Among millions trying to keep up, Liam realized something important. Money wasn't the only thing worth saving. Knowledge was the new currency. He used to spend hours scrolling social media, watching people succeed and wondering how they did it. One day, he came across a quote that said, "The best investment is the one you make in yourself." That hit him hard. From that moment, Liam decided to treat learning like a business. Instead of wasting money on things that gave short-term happiness, he began to invest in things that could change his long-term future. He started small. He spent a little money on an online course that taught basic video editing. Within a few weeks, he realized he enjoyed it. He practiced daily, watched free tutorials, and built his confidence. Soon, he began taking small freelance projects, not for the money at first, but for experience. As his skills improved, clients started paying him more. Within 6 months, the course he had bought for less than a dinner out had already multiplied his income. Liam's mindset completely changed. He no longer saw courses, books, or workshops as expenses. He saw them as investments. Every dollar he spent on learning returned to him tenfold. Liam also learned to adapt. Whenever he noticed a new opportunity, he upgraded his skills to match it. When artificial intelligence tools became popular, he learned how to use them to speed up his work. While many people were afraid of losing jobs to AI, Liam was using AI to get more clients. He understood the future didn't belong to those who saved money only. It belonged to those who grew with the times. His story became an inspiration for his friends who once thought saving meant cutting expenses. Liam showed them that saving can also mean saving time, energy, and opportunities through skill growth. By the end of 2025, Liam had built a full-time business from his side hustle. He earned more, worked on his own terms, and had a constant hunger to learn more. His secret was simple. While others spent money on comfort, he spent it on capability. The skill investment hack made him realize that real wealth is not what's in your wallet. It's what's in your mind. The future fund strategy: save for goals, not just someday. In 2025, when most people talked about saving money, they often spoke in vague terms. "I'll save for the future," or "I'll save when I earn more." But Maya, a young architect with big dreams, learned that saving without a goal is like traveling without a map. She had always struggled with money management. Her income was good, but somehow her savings never grew. She realized that the problem wasn't how much she earned, it was her lack of direction. Everything changed one morning when she attended a financial awareness workshop where the speaker said, "Money without purpose disappears faster than you think." That line stuck with her, and she decided to give every rupee she saved a purpose, a name, and a reason to exist. That night, she opened her banking app and created multiple digital vaults. One was labeled Emergency Fund, another Travel Dreams, and a third Home Fund. Each goal had a clear target amount and a deadline. Every month, as soon as her salary arrived, she automatically transferred small portions into each of these vaults. It wasn't much at first, but slowly, she began to notice something powerful. Saving became exciting. Every time she contributed to her travel dreams fund, she could almost visualize herself walking on a beach somewhere in Greece. When she added money to her home fund, she imagined the cozy apartment she would one day buy. These mental pictures gave her motivation that simple saving never did. Months passed, and the habit became natural. Her friends often complained about how hard it was to save, but Maya smiled quietly because for her, saving wasn't about sacrifice anymore. It was about progress. Her funds were growing steadily, and she no longer felt guilty when spending on small pleasures because everything was balanced. She had a clear system that ensured her money served her dreams, not her impulses. Over time, she even created a Freedom 2026 fund, a personal project to take a 6-month break and travel the world while working remotely. This goal gave her energy, focus, and patience. By the end of the year, Maya's life looked completely different. She wasn't just financially stable, she was emotionally free. Her savings had direction, her dreams had structure, and her confidence had doubled. The Future Fund strategy taught her that wealth is not built by chance, but by clarity. When your money has a destination, it starts to move faster, and it takes you exactly where you want to go.